I feel so weird doing this video because I don't have a script. This is one of the first videos that I don't have any sort of format. And I noticed I was feeling so much resistance about making a video because when I have a script and a format, I feel really stiff. And I didn't want to feel that way anymore. I wanted to feel at ease and authentic on camera because I feel like I wasn't. I feel like I was being a little robotic. And maybe that's normal in the beginning of making video. I don't know. All I know is I want my videos to be more authentic. I want everything I'm trying to communicate to come through in the moment and more so energetically. That sounds very wooey, but I want it to be more energetic. And when I was noticing that I didn't want to make a video because I had to come up with a script and I feel so much tension around making a video, I was like, all I'm doing is talking. All I'm doing is talking to a camera as if I'm talking to a person. And that's what I want my videos to come off as. I want them to be authentic. And I was struggling with this idea of authenticity a lot today. And what I realized, authenticity is really just a deep rooted acceptance of the now, how you're feeling in this moment. And yeah, it's an all-encompassing acceptance. And I was asking myself, how do I relieve this tension about making a video? How do I relieve this anxiety about making a video? So I acknowledge I had the anxiety, right? So the only way to come up with a solution to anything is to be aware of the problem. We should never view our feelings as a problem. But I was like, man, I'm feeling so much tension and anxiety and I don't want to feel this way anymore, right? It's a choice. It's like, I don't want to feel this way anymore. So what do I do? So I asked myself, how do I relieve this anxiety or this tension around making videos or just this anxiety in general? And the answer I came up with after just kind of sitting with it is you just have to release your tension and resistance around the anxiety, first of all, and then just accept it. Accept that you are feeling tense and anxious, and can you be okay with that? If you can be okay with anything that's happening in your life, internally or externally, you're going to be okay in general. Like right now, if I ask myself how I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety, just a little bit, not as much as I was when I first pressed play on this video, but yeah, I ask you, how are you feeling? How is the energy in your body right now? And can you be okay with it? Can you accept it and give compassion to it? Can you accept it and hug it? And when you do this, how do you feel at this point? Again, it's like, how do I relieve my anxiety? How do I relieve my anger? And we should never judge our feelings, right? Because that's creating more tension around them. That's creating more blocks around them. That's creating a bigger issue around them. Instead, we just have to evaporate all of the tension around our feelings and our issues, and soon we'll realize they're okay. I'm okay feeling anxious. I'm okay as I am right now. And I think this is authenticity in a nutshell. It's being okay with who you are in this moment. And I think I've always struggled with this because I come from a very self-improvement background. And just the thought of improving yourself and this linear escalation of being better and then being better of others led me down a path of disconnecting with how I'm really feeling. Because with self-improvement, it's like, okay, you have something wrong with you. There's an issue, right? An internal issue, or maybe it's external, that's manifested in the external. I have this internal issue. Let's say for me, it was my social skills and my anxiety. It's like, okay, how do I overcome this? So now you view this issue you have as a big problem and you identify with it. You feed it more energy. It's like, oh, I have anxiety. This is a big problem. So I need to find solutions outside of myself for this problem. And I read a lot of books. The first book I read was by Tony Robbins. It was called Awaken the Giant Within. And what he talks about is to get rid of negative thinking or negative feelings, is to build this table and think of a new belief as a table, and your thoughts are the table legs to this table, right? So let's say I wanted this new belief that I am cool or I am powerful. I have to then go through my past experiences to give myself proof that I am this thing. But the whole modality of positive thinking creates too much resistance and judgment around negative thinking. So now internally you have this split between a positive view and a negative view. So now I'm at a point of learning how to integrate all of it, so I feel more at ease with the positive and the negative, and I don't even see positive and negative. It just is. There's no further commentary. And I think this is the foundation of peace, is non-duality. There's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. And it relieves a lot of guilt and shame. And without guilt and shame, you're not going to feel anxious or fearful to do something you've never done before. I've never done this. And I'm probably rambling a bit, which is fine. If you've ever put yourself on camera or made content and put yourself out there, you'll know it's not easy. Anytime you're doing anything in the beginning, it's not easy. But I think the sooner you can accept that anxiety and then just move forward, the better. And this was the only way I thought of dealing with my anxiety about being on camera and making content, because I felt like this is going to be more real and honest, and that's going to be sub-communicated, and hopefully you just connect with it, and it gives you permission to then accept who you are right now without judgment and put yourself out there. I was talking with someone today at work, and I was feeling anxious while I was talking to this person. And normally I've been like, oh, it's not good to show that you're nervous or anxious. Instead, I was like, it's okay. I told myself internally, it's okay to feel anxious right now. It's okay. I kept validating my experience. And sure enough, this weight lifted from me. And I felt like anything I said or did would have been okay. Or it would have landed better than if I would have been anxious and then try to say something. Or try to think of something to not show that I'm nervous. I probably know in the past, if I would have felt anxious around someone, probably would have avoided that situation, like I was avoiding making a video. I was feeling anxious and tension around putting myself on camera. So I would have just avoided it. I could have made an excuse that I'm tired. I was about to go to my favorite place to get food, and just as a way to prolong starting the camera and just talking. So be okay with the now. Okay with your experience in this moment, and breathe and relax. And if you are struggling with acceptance, you're like, am I doing this right? Be okay with not knowing how to do it. Can you be okay with not doing something perfectly? And if you're asking oh, but what about the things that I do need to change? Or the things that I need to work on? Or the things I need to do in my life that are creating stress, anxiety, or issues, or things that you need to improve on? If we come at things from a different energy, we are going to be more efficient. So if you come at something with fear, right? It's like, oh, I need to find my purpose. You're just going to jump at the first thing that looks okay, that feels okay. And you're going to be like, oh, I found my purpose. And you're just going to cling on to this thing and not want to let it go. But it's really probably not your purpose. It's your purpose through your fearful self. But your highest self, the self that's very content and at ease and lets in new information, when you're so contracted in your head, you're not able to bring in new information, And with that new information coming in and you're able to be aware of it, you're then not going to be able to express it. So fear, anxiety, these are very contracting emotions. That's why when someone's scared, they tend to hide. When someone's feeling anxious, they run away, right? It's the fight or flight. Typically, I don't see too many people fighting when they're feeling scared or anxious. I see more running away, or at least that's how I dealt with it. So we shouldn't look to improve ourselves from a place of fear or guilt. Perhaps we can do it from a place of acceptance and warmth. And when we do it, we're going to do it more efficiently. We're not going to make a mistake and be like, oh, I suck at this, now retreat back, or I'm never going to be good at this. No, now when you make a mistake, you just accept it and you're able to then just move forward. So again, I really hope this helped you just be okay with you. Everything that is you, your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your mannerisms, the mistakes you've made in the past, your fears about the future, and just being okay with also not being okay. Okay, until next time.